Gavin, is that a toy in your pocket, or are you just happy have this? Or are you just happy with this week's Geek Week news?
Tongue twisters. I'm happy for this Geeks Week's news. I can't even talk to you.
Oh my goodness!
All right, so do you guys have this trailer ready? Because I'm gonna just kick things off with something that I couldn't believe was real.
Okay.
And I hope to God is actually a serious thing.
What?
We have to watch this trailer.
Okay, I have no idea what we're about to watch. Welcome to live television, and the answer is trailer.
You must trust me without hesitation, for this is the most important adventure of your very lives.
Are you ready to RPG?
Yeah! You have one goal, and one goal only: to stay in the game.
Let's get ready to RPG!
Who are you? I'm Marcy.
No, you are not Marcy.
Who are you? I'm Blackleaf, the thief of the shadows.
RPG! 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 RPG!
Maybe we should go. That senior warned us about playing RPGs.
Using RPGs to fight evil will never work because RPGs are evil.
Spells,
I think your hands are perfect for spellcasting. There's so much that you could do with them.
poison, battles, maiming, killing.
I'm going to die? Yeah, but it's all imagination.
Is it?
And thanks to the power of the subconscious, they will begin to live it for real.
But I thought the Necronomicon and Cthulhu were just fictional.
Oh no, Debbie. The Necronomicon and Cthulhu mythos are all too real.
RPG! RPG! RPG!
Yes! RPG! No, Chris, you don't get out of this one. This is Chris Glover, our LARPer. What did you think about that trailer?
Oh, well, I really want to go see that movie.
I know. I really want to see this movie because I want to know, is this a real, are they making it like seriously, or are they making it parody? Pocky says they're making it as a parody.
Of Chick Tracts. So for those of you that might be familiar with it, in the 80s, this guy named Jack Chick wrote all these just horrendous comics that were so over the top with crazy that they were funny in a weird,
they were
demented
sad
way.
is what they were.
And so maybe this is a parody of one of those. Okay, here, I gotta say, this is why geeks can't have nice things. Because when I was watching that, I was thinking, dude, I used so much red food coloring. I looked like I had scurvy when I was working on the Walking Dead cookbook. No one's gonna put their dice into that. That's insane. And this is why geeks can't have nice things, because that's my critique of it.
You know, I tell you, there are some people out there, speaking from a LARP perspective, as I do, there are some people out there, that's their view of LARP. And
But here's the thing,
maybe that's why I don't have more players.
They're confusing LARPing and
Satan?
Well, LARPing is Satan. LARPing and tabletop. No, because I've never met a single gamer who's like, hey, you want an RPG? No, you're like, hey, you want to go play some Pathfinder? There's no one ever says RPG like that. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, especially the gentlemen, if more men who were into gaming looked like that, I would not be single right now. These fine gentlemen are representative of the best geek culture has to offer in the male physique. And I do mean the best.
My wife came up to me and said, hey, let's go RPG. I ain't talking to you guys for a while.
All right, so the LARP perspective of RPG, I want to see it so bad. It's going to premiere at Gen Con, apparently.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. I actually do want to see it, but again, I'm being nitpicky over the stupidest things.
It's not really dumb. I mean, my favorite shot was a shot with the blood and the 20-sided die coming out.
And on top of that, how come none of us ever get invited to these apparently, like, RPG raves?
Frat parties? Yeah, come on. We'd be drinking and playing miniature games.
I can drink really well.
Yeah, not me so much. I kind of got out of it. But let's get on to better news. Next up, the writers of Chronicle are rebooting the Power Rangers for a film franchise. I think it's about time, honestly, because there's, 20, 25 years of Power Rangers now, and they're kind of running out of ideas. Let's face it. You can only do it so many
normally
times.
I either love these or hate them, and this is the first one when you've come up with something like this that I've been kind of meh. Like, the Gem movie, I thought really will be truly, truly outrageous, and I can't wait for it. But with this one, I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't that into Power Rangers as a kid.
I loved the original run of Power Rangers, and that's what they're going back to, so I can't wait, but... My question is Tommy still going to play Tommy? Because he's been like every Green Ranger in every series ever. Because I love the dude, but it seems to be all he has. Questions?
We'll see. I'll give it a try. What the heck?
And are they going to actually update the effects and the names? Because Rita Repulsa was a
And the
really dumb name. Well, no, the uniforms could stay. They were fine back then. But it'd be really fun to see.
Because it's the lame. It's that silver lame that makes the six.
I thought it was a little pink, mini dress. Kind of did it for me. Anyways. Next up, okay, Edgar Wright is officially off of Ant-Man, and I'm now officially worried because has Marvel jumped the shark?
I don't think so.
I think so because the reason they're doing it, apparently, is because Guardians of the Galaxy is such a drastic change from the other ones. It's not testing very well.
Okay. Let's back this conversation up just a little bit. That's not why they got rid of Edgar Wright.
He's been working on it 8 years. You cannot tell me that is not why.
My understanding of it is that he wanted to make a darker, grittier Ant-Man because, let's face it, Hank Pym, he's known for two things, growing and shrinking and beating his wife. And he didn't want to leave the beating his wife stuff out of there, and that doesn't play well in like a happy, fun family comedy.
That was what they were going for at all. I think they were going for something a little bit more spirited when they were
because lighthearted beating your wife is awesome. No, I actually believe it was creative differences between the two of them.
Like they want to make sure everything fits in our little box that everything's supposed to fit in and nothing can go outside.
They've got plans for until 2026?
Yeah.
And so I know they will give directors a certain amount of leeway because, they hired Joss Whedon, and he is not one that's going to play nicely with the whole, and here's exactly what you're going to do frame by frame. So I really do believe the creative differences thing. I don't think it's, when you say you think it's because they've jumped the shark, what do you think they're going to do? Go hire Bryan
I think they're going to make it something a little bit more in line with the mainstream ones, because Ant-Man's not one of the mainstream heroes. He is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Neither was Iron Man before the...
Iron Man was one of the mainstream heroes, whether you believe it or not. All the ones they've done have been mainstream heroes.
Iron Man
now they're getting into the ones that people are like...
years before they made a movie out of him.
He was still super mainstream.
No, he wasn't.
Guardians of the Galaxy isn't mainstream. It's not tested too well. Ant-Man's not very mainstream. Doctor Strange certainly isn't mainstream.
Doctor Strange will be a strange movie. There's no getting around that.
I can't wait to see that one. But
here's the thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. I feel like you actually want to see it tank. You're like, I read something bad about it. I must see that it fails.
I don't want to see it tank at all. I want to see it be super successful because you're right earlier. It's time to bring in fresh things that we haven't already seen.
I don't want to see Spider-Man 6 because I only saw 4 of the 5 movies.
You can't be on the show anymore if you don't want to see Spider-Man.
Well, the problem is I don't want to see the same story over and over again. I want to see a new story. That's why I'm excited about Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's not really a comic book movie. It's actually Marvel's excuse to say, hey, you know what we're going to do? A space opera franchise. Why? Because we love Chris-Rachael and she needs to have a space opera movie.
Yes, because everything revolves around you.
It's true, as a matter of fact, and that's why I get a Guardians of the Galaxy
So I'm going to blame
movie.
this next story on you.
Okay,
Space Jam 2 is on the way, starring LeBron James.
I apologize for that already.
No,
I'm so
this
sorry.
is entirely Chris-Rachael's fault.
I am
we could
so
just pin it
sorry,
on her.
world. I said I wanted to see more space movies, and apparently somebody got confused. Like, someone in Kentucky, it was basketball season
It must
at the time.
have been.
And, yeah,
I don't understand why they're deciding to do something as dumb as Space Jam 2 again. Because Looney Tunes don't belong in a sports movie. They belong more like in Back in Action 2. Because Back in Action really wasn't that bad.
My theory on it is they haven't had a good success with Looney Tunes in a while.
Well, let's stop making feature films about them then.
I know. They were great cartoons. Good grief. They're classic cartoons, and you can update them. For example, Animaniacs.
I would love to see them do live-action Animaniacs. I'm not going to lie.
Wait, what? No,
I
we were talking
totally
about...
love to see them do that one.
Now. You make them now. No, I want to see them, or something like that back. Everybody said Animaniacs was going to fail because it was new characters. Mm-hmm. Nobody was going to want to watch it. And now we all sit around singing all the songs that Wacko was singing all the time, and now it's a classic. So, new content. That's what I'm saying. Please, more new content, but not Space Jam 2.
I don't quite understand why.
I have no idea why Space Jam 2.
Did they just want to throw more money at a basketball player and say, here, come
you know
play
what?
with Bugs Bunny?
I firmly believe that there was some sort of hamster sacrifice going on, maybe a chicken, but you can't go all the way up to a cat and get Space Jam 2 out of it.
No, it was definitely a low sacrifice quality there.
Lizards?
Maybe. So, last Geek Week news story we have for you this week is a movie that most of you probably haven't heard, but I happen to love. Wet Hot American Summer is this crazy movie made by the comedians who did The State, which I loved. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, Netflix has picked up the rights to the 10-episode series. They're going to actually make it and produce it. So this is their new television series.
Okay.
It has people like Janine Garofalo and Bradley Cooper and all these people
All
are
right,
in
that's
it.
sounding good to me already.
However,
Yes?
it's going to be kind of a prequel because they were already kind of in college in this movie. They're in high school. How are you going to have 40-year-olds playing 19-year-olds? I just don't see it. I mean, that's going to be some...
Are they going to be the camp counselors instead?
No, they're in high school in this movie. Getting ready to go to camp and things like that.
That doesn't make any sense.
That
does not make any sense whatsoever at all.
I don't know how or why Netflix decided to pick this up. I honestly don't.
I mean, you can do things with original actors. Like the whole Farscape movie pitch, from what I understand, is they want to make it 19 years in the future with, Little Dargo as the lead so that they can
It's not Little Dargo, it's Little John.
Little D. It's Little D is what they're calling him because they named him Dargo.
Oh.
Anyway, the point is that they wanted to be able to bring back Ben Browder and Claudia Black, so they set it age appropriately so they could get the same actors back and have it make any sense. This, from what you're describing, does not make any sense.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they decided to do this, but maybe it'll be good. But seriously, it'll be like watching Strangers with Candy when she was the really old woman in high school. That's what I expect to see, honestly, out of this
We'll
entire
find
thing.
out. I mean, it's Netflix, and for $8 a month, we'll
Can't
watch
really
it.
complain, but Orange is the New Black comes back really, really soon.
Yes,
We're
it
all excited. I want more Crazy Eyes.
Don't we all?
I know. So, that's been our Geek Week news for this week. Up next is Sci-Fi Life Hacks, and then we're going to get the Austin Toy Museum out here to talk toys and everything else. Don't go anywhere.